Hello everyone and welcome to Flex 10 Flex for Mac. In this training video we're going to cover all of the features and functions of Flex 10 for Mac so that you can get the most out of your HoverCam products. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So what you're seeing here is the desktop of my Mac computer. Once you have Flex 10 downloaded and installed, when you boot up the program, you're going to be greeted by your home screen that you see pictured here. So in the center of our home screen is our live feed display. So you can see it's displaying your document or object that the camera is oriented towards. And off to the left here, you'll notice on the left side of your screen there is a pull-out tab that can be collapsed or expanded. When pulled out, you can see a preview of your most recent documents that you've been creating. Those are your image and your video files that you're creating. You can also start a slideshow of your most recent images by clicking the slideshow icon, or you can access the archive where all of this great content that you're generating is stored. Clicking the blue Go to Archive icon will pull up your file window of all your image and video files. When you're not using that display pull-out window, you can condense it. And over to the right side of your screen, you'll see another pull-out tab, and this is a shortcut to your settings tools. So this tab can be accessed by either pulling out the sliding tab to the side, or if you look along the bottom here on your control dock, you can see there is the option to select settings right away. Clicking that will also pull out that right side pull-out settings tab. From that pull-out tab in the settings, you can select which camera Flex is actively connected to. You can also alternate between display sizes and adjust which input microphone you're going to use for your lesson capture lesson recording. The individual configurations of the file types can also be adjusted here from your settings tab. So for example, if you would like to change the format of snapshots that you're creating, you can click the file format pull-out window and select the desired format. You can also change the prefix name of that file before you create that content, and you can change the location that that file is going to be saved to. Snapshots video can also be adjusted as well in terms of the format and the file name. Clicking the General tab under your settings window will also pull up the option to update or check for updates within the program itself. Clicking that will run you through the automatic update procedure. You can also see the location of where your files are being saved under the General tab, and by selecting that you can select alternate locations for where you'd like your files to be saved. Most of our users prefer to set up a HoverCam folder on their desktop where all of their videos and images will be saved. And you can change and set up that location here in the General tab and then select which folder you'd like that content to be saved to. Let's take a look at our control dock along the bottom of your screen here. This is the main way you're going to control the features and functions of your HoverCam product. So right out of the gate, I can snap snapshots of whatever is pictured on the screen here by selecting the snapshot icon. You'll get that little shutter animation and sound to confirm. And then you'll also see along the bottom of our control dock, you'll see a preview of your most recent snapshot. Again, all of your recent snapshots can also be accessed by clicking the pull-out tab on the left side of your screen and browsing to select your most recent snapshot. From the snapshot mode, I can also take OCR scans. Ocular character recognition scans will scan a pre-printed text and convert that information into a manipulable file that you can then edit, deleting words, scaling vocabulary up or down, and just generally interact with those words in a digital form. So just place the desired document under the field of view, hover over a snapshot, and then click on the OCR button to take that OCR scan. Just like the rest of your snapshots, OCR scans will automatically be saved in your archive. Okay, next up we'll cover annotating on top of objects in your live feed. So you'll notice when you start Flex 11, there isn't an annotation tool directly on the screen, so you'll need to activate annotation mode by selecting the annotation icon on the bottom control dock there. When selected, a annotation toolbar will generate on the right side of your screen, and this toolbar can be relocated to different parts of your screen as desired. So our first tool that we'll discuss is our marker tool. When selected, this will allow you to mark annotations on the screen using either a mouse, as I'm doing here, or if your hovercam is connected to a screen with touch controls, you can annotate using touch controls as well. Now the color and thickness and transparency of your annotations can be adjusted in a couple of different ways. So to adjust the color and transparency, simply select the color annotation tool icon on the bottom of your annotation toolbar there, and it will open up a separate window for the color controls. This separate window can be moved and positioned to a new location on the screen if desired. You'll notice along the top of your control bar here there are a number of different options for how you would like to input those color choices. So for example, the color wheel will allow you to slide and select the reticule to different parts of the color wheel, adjust the darkness of that color, and underneath that you'll see you can adjust how opaque that annotation is, making your annotations more or less see-through, which is really useful if you want to have a marker annotation setting. So you can see the different input options, such as selecting from a pre-designated color box of preset colors or simply a list of colors. A lot of different options for how you select that color. But once you've selected your color, you can go ahead and begin annotating directly in that color. And if you do not need to select the color anymore, you can close out of this color window by selecting the red exit button, and then you can continue marking and making your annotations. Now above that marker tool is our object selector. It looks like the arrow pointing up. This will allow you to select individual annotations, and you can position those annotations or move them to different parts of the screen. Now under our marker tool are a number of useful shape annotation tools, preset designated shapes, such as a line to mark straight line annotations, an arrow to point and draw attention to specific parts of the screen, a hollow rectangle tool, a hollow circular tool, and a solid rectangle shape insert tool. Now all of these shapes can be resized and readjusted by selecting that object selector tool at the top there, clicking along the edge of your object, and then sliding it to the desired size or shape. You can also fill in the empty space of these hollow shapes by selecting the paint can icon on your annotation toolbar and then selecting inside the shape you wish to fill with the set color. Now underneath that you'll notice the typed to text tool. This is indicated by a capital T icon. When that's selected, simply select where on the screen you'd like to type in your annotations and then type that annotation using a connected keyboard or an on-screen digital keyboard depending upon the platform and your individual setup. Now you can erase annotations by selecting the eraser tool, and that will allow you to erase specific parts of an annotation. You can also delete entire annotation by selecting your object selection tool, selecting the annotation, and then selecting this red exit or delete objects button. You can clear out your whole annotation screen by selecting the trash can icon, which will clear all of your on-screen annotations. And your size and shape or thickness of your annotation lines can also be adjusted with your toolbar here by selecting the rectangular shaped icon at the bottom here and selecting the desired thickness for your annotation strokes. When you are ready to move away from your annotations, you can either just move the annotation bar off to the side, or if you would like that annotation bar removed completely, you can select the annotation tool on your control dock, which will close that annotation toolbar, but please note that will also close any active annotations. So make sure you save those annotations with a quick tap of the snapshot before you close out of the annotation toolbar. Now, next to the annotation toolbar on your control dock, you'll see your focus controls. You can select to use selective focus to focus in on individual parts of the screen for the camera to focus on, or you can just select autofocus to let your camera automatically find the ideal focal point. And you can also select autofocus lock, which will trigger your camera to find the ideal focal point, but then it will lock in and stay locked on that focal point, allowing you to place your hand under the field of view or change the depth of view without the camera having to readjust the focus. So the autofocus lock button is a really useful tool for keeping that camera locked in on one focal point. Next, we'll cover our view control options. So when you hover over the view control icon, you'll see you have the option to rotate the camera digitally. You also have the ability to mirror the screen image. You can also pause that live feed, allowing you to switch out new documents, queue up and prep your next piece of content, and then you simply select pause again to unfreeze that and return to your live video feed. Under view options, you also have the option to enter split screen mode, which will allow you to compare side by side your live feed with a previously recorded snapshotted document. When you're ready to exit out of the split screen mode, simply select split screen again and then tap full screen to return to full screen display. Now, next to your view control options, you'll also see you have some zoom control options. By clicking that box, it will open up another window that allows you to use a slider to zoom in and really get up close and personalized details of the object that you're displaying. You'll notice next to your zoom control, we have our general controls window. This will allow you to adjust the focus, exposure, white balance, the picture brightness of your display field. So if you're noticing the camera, because of lighting or other circumstances, isn't quite getting the right picture, you can make adjustments to different configurations and settings here. You can also reset back to the camera's default settings by selecting the Reset to Default option. Now, next to your control panel is your cropping tool. When selected, this will allow you to crop and select individual portions of the screen, allowing you to just capture content around a specific part of the screen. When you're ready to exit out of that cropping mode, just re-tap the cropping tool icon and you'll exit back to your home screen. Now, as I mentioned at the top, our settings tools can be accessed by the pull-out window off to the side, or by selecting the settings icon on your control dock at the bottom of your screen there. So lastly, we'll cover video capture for your lesson recording needs. The video icon is also located on your control bar at the bottom of your control panel, and when selected, it will give you the option either to jump directly into video capture recording by selecting Start Recording on the Start Recording icon. You can also pause your recordings as they're being made or stop them when you're ready. You're also able to record full screen capture using the Record Screen icon. When selected, this will open up QuickTime as a means to capture all the content that's occurring on screen. So this will allow you to capture and record lessons around applications or web-based content, and all your audio components of your instructional delivery will still be captured by your HoverCam. So when you've created your video content and you're ready to view it or share it, remember to go to your left pull-out tab window here and simply select the Go to Archive icon at the top left corner. So pull up your window where all of your video and image files are currently being stored, and then you can drag and drop that content into other programs as the needs arise. So that's our overview of the features and functions of your Solo 8 camera. Again, there's a lot that this camera can do beyond just serving as a document camera, so please explore those lesson capture, lesson recording capabilities, as well as some of the cool displaying and annotation tools that we covered here. And that concludes our look at the features and functions of Flex 10 Flex for Mac. We hope you've learned a lot, and we encourage you to explore some of those deeper features and functions, the lesson capture, lesson recording, and all those dynamic annotation tools. And as you continue to explore these additional features and tools, please feel free to reach out to us with any questions at the email listed at the bottom of your screen. On behalf of everyone here at HoverCam, we'd like to thank you for choosing HoverCam. Enjoy the rest of your day.